whip, bought it, crib, got it, die on it. Did I ever ask you to take me shopping in Paris? Sailing overseas. The dollhouse of deep conversations and all things feminine, the depth of Dolliness. Hi, dolls. I'm Ari, and this is The Depth of Dolliness. This podcast is a community for individuals to openly discuss all things feminine and girly, ranging from topics and advice of feminine maintenance, appearance, includes beauty, cosmetics, and fashion, mannerisms, relationship dynamics, and growth in approaching womanhood. So today's topic is going to be on fashion, and it's going to be featuring our Twitter doll herself. So do you mind introducing yourself?
Yes. So I'm Alicia or Lyssi, also known as Lyssithadoll. Um, everyone, I have a very strong passion for fashion, of course. It runs deep within me, and I study fashion merchandise at Kent State University. And I have plans on doing celebrity, like fashion styling, as well as media wardrobe styling. And yeah, I'm just really honored to be here and speak with you on fashion today.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a exciting topic to dig into. So,
Definitely.
yeah, for everyone listening, today's podcast is going to be approximately about 20 minutes long, so it won't be too long. But as we approach the final 5 to 10 minutes, I will have an open mic opportunity for those that are interested in asking either of us questions or
Yes.
giving us word of advice. Personal feedback and words of encouragement is always welcomed. But if I give you a mic, let's keep it cute, demure, and respectful, please.
Yes.
So, my first question for you is, how would you say fashion influences your day to day life? More specifically, how so as a girl?
So I am a very, like in person, I'm a very shy and quiet, I'd say kind of reserved girl. And I'm probably only going to speak if I'm spoken to. So when it comes to like fashion, it for me it always speaks before I can, and it speaks for me. So it just like it's a conversation starter, and it's vice versa for me as well. Like that's how I start my conversations. If I see a cute outfit on a girl, I'm always complimenting people, and that's just like how I navigate with like communicating as like a shy person.
Totally understood because I feel like I could be the same way at times. I'm not really one to start conversation or approach first. I could be
Yeah.
very timid in my own ways. Um, but expressing yourself through fashion, it speaks for itself. No words have really has to be said.
Yeah, literally, like it'll speak for me in
Hmm.
all times. So it definitely makes people approachable.
So that's so crazy because that kind of ties into another question I was gonna ask you later on. But since we're
Mm.
on that topic, how would you say that you tend to carry yourself? And you said that you could be shy at times. So I guess you've already explained that. And would you say that that also ties into your sense of style and corresponds to that? And you said that it did. So how would you define your sense of fashion?
So I would, so yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of like my personality. My sense of fashion is definitely, I would call it girly, sexy, fun, is what I like to call it. And
Okay.
yeah, so like it's super ultra feminine. I love to feel like a princess at all times, carry myself like one. And also like with that like oozing sex appeal, like a early 2000s video vixen. And like also the fun aspect is like I really love to play with like playfulness in my outfits as well. So I would define that as my fashion sense.
I love that. So tying into the video vixen comment, who would you say your ultimate style icon would be from the early 2000 era? I know usually on the timeline, a lot of girls love to tweet about Paris Hilton, Kimora Lee Simmons.
Mhm.
So would you say any of them can influence you in a way, or is there someone else?
Of course, they absolutely do at times, especially Paris Hilton as of recently. But I would say definitely Nicki Minaj. She, all of her, what I said about my fashion sense really ties into what she was doing a lot of in the early like 2010s. So she's definitely like my main. And then Rihanna, of course, Lady Gaga. Those are all my number ones when it comes to that. Who is yours?
Okay. That's a really good question. I feel like I'm personally influenced by so many different things, so many different people, but
Mhm.
um a style icon, I feel like a lot of like early 2000 musicians during that time had like some really fire outfits.
Yes.
So like you would just casually scroll through like Pinterest or down the timeline on Twitter and see like a cute outfit from like Rihanna back in the early 2000s. I feel
Mhm.
like I don't really have a specific distinct person. I feel like for
Yeah.
me it's just a style as a whole.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But I do love me some Kimora though. I love Kimora Lee Simmons down
Definitely an
100%.
icon when we speak about
Mhm.
icons. But I
Um
love that question so much.
Yeah, another one that like ties into that would be like Megan Good for me as well. I think that her
Ooh,
outfits are so cutesy, especially during that era. And she also had a lot of like cute little statement pieces outside of just like her clothes. The way she'd accessorize herself and stuff. That's kind of like me to a teen.
yes, and she just oozes sex appeal too. I love that about her.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
as we know, as I'm sure we all know, the color pink we love down. So, when you do wear the color pink, what are your go to fashion staples for a perfect pink outfit?
High heels for one I love. Pink stilettos, pink pumps, pink platforms. So definitely that. Obviously, we love a mini skirt, a mini dress moment. Anything with sequins, whether that be tops, skirts, shoes, anything with anything sparkly. So that'll make me feel like a princess and just perfect.
Agreed. Totally agree. And do you prefer vintage pieces from the early 2000s, or would you say currently you're into modern brands inspired by that era?
Hmm.
Because it's currently circling back. We see a lot of like leopard print happening.
Mm,
Um, the Juicy Couture tracksuits are back in again. Girls are going on Depop and
yeah.
thrifting sites to try to find collectibles for their early 2000s closet. So would
For
you say it would
sure.
be
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
no, it's okay. So would you say that it would be more so like authentic vintage pieces or new brands that are starting to like I don't know, show authenticity with their
Yes.
clothing line, but also like incorporating that type of fashion into their clothes.
I would say definitely both. I am a 100% always looking for new small brands to support and also always sourcing items that are not available anymore and always using secondhand apps and thrift shopping. So I would definitely, I don't have any like boundaries or bounds when it comes to like finding things. I just literally anything that's cute, anything that screams my name, I need it. But totally both sides, I'm there.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yes.
Um, so I want to transition into talk about fashion and feminine expression because after all, the purpose, like the general theme of this podcast ongoing will be about femininity as a whole. And that's why today's topic is fashion because that ties into feminine aspects as women. So, what do you think femininity means to you, and how do you express that through your like your fashion taste and, the outfits that you wear or the accessories that you put on?
So I really resonate deeply with astrology. I know you do too. I see you talking about it.
Yeah.
Yes, I resonate very deeply with that. So when it comes to like femininity, I always want to give like divine feminine, like the cold definition of divine feminine, and just like always be super just uh, like light. I want to be light and airy and like go with the flow of things, and like my outfits and my fashion sense just corresponds totally like exactly with that. And I always just want to feel just girly and like a princess, and yeah.
I love how you mentioned divine femininity.
Hmm.
It's definitely a thing that we see a lot currently. It's something that we hear a lot as well. When I think of femininity, I think of both light and dark. We have light femininity where girls are more soft centered. They express themselves with, a soft palette, and then we have, our dark feminine girls giving sexy, bold. I think that with fashion, at least for me, I tend to balance out both. I
Hmm.
love me some bold black leather pants, but I also love me like a cute lace, like pink outfit. I feel like sometimes it comes down to like how you feel in the moment, like
Yeah,
waking up like feeling okay, like I feel like a princess today. Or it's like, what, I feel like I'm a boss bitch today. So I'm about to wear some leather. Um,
exactly.
femininity is very it fluctuates. I don't really know how to explain, but it definitely
Right.
fluctuates a lot.
I totally agree with you, and couldn't have said it better, literally. With the light and the dark, like, and that tying back into astrology, like, I'm a Cancer, so the light and the dark is literally like me. I'm black and I'm white, literally. So it's just like a yin yang type of thing, and I love being in both aspects, and it's all femininity. I just love it. It's gorgeous, beautiful. Um,
Yeah.
everything like the accessories, like the fragrance you wear, it all I always correspond like my perfume with my outfits, and I just love being a girl.
So my follow-up question would be, do you believe that dressing in a feminine way influences how people can perceive you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like I don't know what it is about, well, I do know what it is about the color pink. It's just the feminine color, but I'm always wearing pink, so I'm always being treated like a princess. I know I keep saying that, but it's so true. Like that's all I do is be a princess, and like when you're wearing heels and skirts, people just treat you so much better. Like,
I know exactly what you mean. It's like wearing an all pink outfit and then like walking down the street and like someone just like casually calling you like a Barbie doll.
yeah,
Like little comments like that.
yes, and it's like I wear pink every day, so I hear this every day, and it's just crazy.
I feel like pink has been like a staple color within like femininity. Um Although I do believe that women can still be very, very feminine outside of liking the color pink or wearing the color pink, I feel like it really does come down to how you carry yourself,
Mhm.
mannerisms, things of that aspect. And I'll dig deeper into that probably on another episode. But when it comes to like to feminine, like dressing feminine and people's perception on you, it really does make a difference, even if it's just wearing like a frilly a frilly dress, and it doesn't even have to be pink. If it's white,
Yeah.
it definitely it's eye appealing,
Mhm.
and it kind of I don't know what it really does, like, but it definitely, it influences the way people think of you.
Yes, like they
Um,
just see walking dolls everywhere, and
yeah. I think what it really is that when you do dress feminine, people kind of just assume, like, make that assumption of, like, okay, like, she's a sweet girl or she's high maintenance. Like,
absolutely.
they say when you look good, you feel good. And
Mhm.
I think when you present yourself in a good manner, people also think of you in a good manner.
Exactly. So
So,
true.
yeah. Do you believe that your personal style can reflect who you are in terms of character and personality?
Yes, absolutely.
I think that this kind of like brings us, like, circles us back to like the beginning of joining this space about how what was it exactly? I'm sorry, you guys, I'm literally spacing.
Me too at the moment.
um I know that we kind of touched base on this a little bit in the beginning about character. Oh yeah, fashion. It's a form of expressing yourself, So I feel like the same way how people say, like, okay, like, cosmetics, doing makeup is a form of art. I feel like the clothes that you also wear and the way you present yourself at times, for most people, it's also a way of like expressing who they are. It's also a form of art as well. Like, outside of, like, fashion as a like, industry thing, or
Mhm.
in a specific, like, artistic way, whether that's like being a designer, outside of all of that, just like on a personal level between you and your closet and your clothes, 9 times out of 10, the clothes that you pick out, the clothes that catch your eye, it tends to be a reflection of who you are, how you want to present yourself, what you like.
As
So I do think that it ties into someone's character in a lot of ways.
yes, it's your own personal art.
So do you tend to feel different when you wear dresses and heels versus something more casual? If you do, how so?
I I wish like the job that I have to wear pants and long sleeves. And not there's nothing wrong with pants or long sleeves, but like I would just feel so much more like myself if I could walk in there with a little skirt or even a maxi skirt. Like it's just I just love ultra feminine everything. It just makes me the best version of myself. So I
Yeah.
definitely feel a difference when I'm wearing them versus when I'm not, because I just feel more like myself.
It's crazy because I actually had this talk with someone else earlier this week. And I was telling them, because for me, I'm a little extra before, like, I tend to, like, take a good amount of my mornings, like, getting myself ready, dedicating time to wake up early and put myself together, probably even do a quick beat on my face. And someone had asked me, like, oh, like, I think I influenced someone to start, like, doing that themselves. And they were like, you kind of, like, inspired me to, like, wake up early and, like, get myself together today. And I had told them, and this ties into the whole wearing dresses and heels versus something casual, putting yourself together makes you feel so good throughout the day.
Mm,
And I think it's totally worth the extra time that you spend, although it can be pretty feet dragging in the moment, like,
mm.
oh, like, I don't really feel like doing this today, but like it could be very feet dragging, but it's so much more worth it, at the end of the day, because for the rest of your day, you're going to feel so good about the way you look
Yes,
and everything beyond. Like, sometimes you got to make beauty is pain. You got to
it
make those
is. It
sacrifices.
is. Even when you're going to the gym, like I'm still gonna put my makeup on. I'm still gonna wear a cute little outfit and feel like me. because
It's
it's
motivating.
motivating. It's just you gotta do it.
Like, I swear, and like wearing, like, I don't know, like some gray sweats and like a black tee or oversized hoodie to the gym versus wearing like a cute set, a cute pink set, with pink sneakers to match, whatever the case is, or having, it doesn't even have to take your clothes, like even your accessories,
Mm,
a pink water bottle, something that's real cutesy, a little change of, your appearance
mhm.
would literally give you that drive to to kind of keep up with it.
Yes,
I feel like you
literally.
guys need, whoever goes to the gym here, you guys need to give it a try. If
Yeah.
you're going to the gym wearing oversized baggy sweats and tees, one day just put on like a cute pink set. And I promise you, you're going to be working out crazy because you're going to just feel good.
Yes, you're gonna be looking in the mirror like, yeah, I look so
Hmm.
cute.
No, literally.
It's just doll living. Doll living. That's what I recommend.
It makes a difference.
Absolutely, it does.
So do you think that society's view of femininity and fashion has like changed over time?
That's a good question. Um, I would say no, not for me. Like the way I see it, I don't really think so. If anything, it's gotten more girly recently with within fashion. So no, I don't think so. I think there's always someone in the industry who's doing it for us.
Yeah.
And that's always been
Um,
like that.
yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna lie, this question is a little bit tricky, because I think it really does come down to like individual views.
Yes.
I feel like society as a whole, and it depends on the era as well. Like what era specifically are we talking about? So I think overall, um, it comes down to personal views because, for instance, like some people would find pigtails and bows to be childish,
Mhm.
and that's like half of society. And then the other half of society, thinks that it's super cute. I mean, that has been a thing, like an ongoing thing these past few months.
Yes.
Girls wearing putting bows on everything, everywhere,
Yes.
and it doesn't have to be, it could be someone that is of a completely different aesthetic that is expressing their femininity in that way. So I think that a question like this, it comes down to individuals and their beliefs and their thoughts.
I agree. And that's the thing with fashion, obviously it's subjective. There's something for everyone. And I think I focus on, I have tunnel vision when it comes to that. I really don't care what other people think. And people have
You
told me
gotta be
that.
that
Yeah,
way.
even my stepdad, he saw me wearing a bow in my hair. He's like, "Oh, you look like a kid today." I'm like, actually I just look cute." So,
Right. Right. I totally agree with you because like I said, it's a reflection of you. Like, fuck what other people think.
exactly.
I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for myself.
Yes. So,
Since we're talking about society versus fashion, have you ever felt judged for dressing too girly or too feminine? I mean, you kind of just gave us an example. And how do you tend to handle situations like that?
I just look at it as a confidence thing. It's like people who have something to say about it, they just can never do what I do or what you do, what girly girls do. We are open about what we love. We'll wear what makes us feel good. And I just feel like if someone's trying to talk down on me for something, it's the call from within. It's an insecurity thing. And I just feel it makes me feel much more confident because I can actually put on what I want and not care, and, be myself because I can only be myself.
Yeah. No, that makes so much sense. It's crazy because I feel like so many girls on the timeline, like, get dragged at times,
Yeah.
like, for their interest in their fashion taste or their aesthetic, and I just think that's entirely wrong, because it's like we all have our own lives to live.
Mhm.
Why are you so pressed about mine? Like,
Yes.
why are you so pressed about mine?
Like, we all have
Like,
different
and
timelines and, like, things that made us love the things we love, and it's like they wouldn't get it anyway, so what are you judging
mhm.
for?
100%. And it's like, this kind of brings me back into the whole entire like pigtail thing, or like even like girls that do like space buns, like, your two cute little space buns, girls that kind of express their femininity in those ways, and then let's say their picture goes viral. Then we have to deal with half the people on Twitter, oh, like, you look mad childish, oh, you look like a kid, grow up. And it's like, you just don't get it. You
Yes.
just don't get it. And that's entirely okay, but just don't bring that energy over here.
That's what I hate about Twitter the most.
hmm But I feel like in moments like that, and this goes to any girl that's listening, don't feed into it. Do not feed into it. If they're talking, you're doing something right.
Mhm. Mhm.
And another thing, they say that any PR is good PR. So when people are talking about you, you're getting talked about and you're
Yes.
getting known. So don't take it to heart, because some people are just like bored. Most of the people that end up entertaining and doing things like that to others, they're bored and they're looking for means of entertainment by putting other people down.
I don't know how they
So
do
it's
it.
not a you thing, it's a them thing. And that also goes to like anything outside of Twitter. If it's you dealing with comments like in person, whatever the case is, it's not a you thing, it's a them thing. So don't put yourself down on it.
Exactly.
Um
They're just not bold enough to
so
experiment. Like, okay, you're basic and you stay there.
yeah,
It's
like
okay
what? Like,
too.
are you scared to switch it up a little?
Literally experiment a little.
I'm confused. Um, so what advice would you give to someone that wants to embrace a more feminine style but is unsure where to start?
I would. Mm, it's just like I said, there's something out there for everybody, and it's like you just have to figure out how you wanna how you wanna be perceived, I guess, and like play play on that. Find elements and clothing that you like that, draws you in, and start playing around with those silhouettes and like colors, and especially like certain vibes. Find an aesthetic maybe that you resonate with, and try to put your own spin on it. And this came up before, like in my class last week, one of my fashion classes, we were talking about like um what is like the like defining what's the word? So like in the 2010s, right, we had athleisure be our
Mhm.
defining trend, I guess. And she was asking us, what do we think the 2020s is going to be? And I was thinking that it's going to be about customization, I feel like, because we already see it. We're in 2025, and these past 5 years, you can just see how much everyone is like customizing their own style. And
Yeah.
I really, that's my best advice. Find an aesthetic you resonate with, start playing with it, be creative. Don't copy an outfit of someone else just because, it looks good on them. Find what you actually like feel your best in, and just be I just want people to be playful and be creative, and I feel like that'll benefit it'll benefit anybody.
It starts there. It really does start with creativity and exploration. You
Mhm.
need to explore a little and, dip your toe into some different types of styles to see what you're comfortable with.
Yes.
You know, I'd say to anyone that's trying to figure out how to embrace their femininity and is kind of like confused or unsure about like how to take that approach, you know,
Very small.
start small, because regardless, it's still a start. And
Yeah.
you know, you can start with accessorizing. You know, if you're unsure like how you want to go about dressing, you know, don't worry about that just yet. Like what accessories are you into? Like, do you like earrings? Do you like wearing earrings? Do you not like wearing earrings, but have you ever tried to give it a try for real? Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
figure out what types of earrings you like.
Yes.
Um,
Just gotta
you
figure out what
know,
flatters you and your face, your body, and then that'll just
yeah.
translate within what you choose to wear and your sense of style.
Authenticity is key.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
such a big key. And I feel like this is one piece of advice that I'd give to you guys, and I hope that you guys take it with you. It's completely different to be inspired by someone versus stealing their whole flow. I hate to say it, but it's true. It's
No,
totally
make it
different.
up.
I feel like for you to copy, like in a moment like this, and I feel like it could, like I said, it's a confusing moment for girls that just don't know where to go, you know? And so it's like, okay, well, like I'm inspired by this look, so I'm gonna copy this look down to a T. I feel like when you do that, it's not really expressing who you are, it's expressing who
Stealing,
you want to be.
and it's stealing, like, there's no charm there. It's stealing your charm. You have to,
Yeah.
everyone has their own charm and their own sparkle, and fashion just emphasizes that. And I really want people to realize that who already don't, of course, because it really is so beneficial.
Yeah, I feel like I said, starting small, but on top of that, it really does start with like within. You need to figure out who you are as an individual, your likes and your dislikes. You know, do I like heels or do they feel too uncomfortable for me? I don't think I want to pair my outfits with heels. You know, rather than just jumping in off of someone else's look, you know, because like I did tell you guys beauty is pain, but like it's 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 not pain that you should be forcefully putting onto yourself, you know, like off of the
Mhm.
strength of wanting to be exactly like someone. I feel like for girls that are trying to figure out and navigate the whole femininity thing, it just comes down to your interests. And if you get inspired by people, put a twist on it. You know, a twist is good.
A twist is great.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And yes, that is my main focus in fashion is authenticity. I really
Yeah. Because that's the only way you can express yourself, being authentic with yourself and
mm,
reflecting it in, you know, different ways, whether that be cosmetics and beauty or fashion. um
it's
I feel like for
ongoing.
girls, huh?
Sorry.
Oh, it's
It's just
okay.
ongoing. Like it's ongoing from
Yeah,
when we were little. Everything keeps going, so it really is so personal.
I feel like for girls that are kinds of like me, where they have moments where they're super light feminine and then their dark side kind of clashes, like, you know, like it's
Yeah.
kind of like the ultimate fight between like a white swan and a black swan, because I could be both
Hmm.
at times. I feel like girls that are trying to navigate how to be feminine, like through both sides, there you can still be so feminine wearing all black. Black is so sexy, so
Hmm.
cute, you know, and it still screams feminine. It's just, I think, once again, it really does come down to mannerisms and the way that you kind of like go about your approach with it, how you carry yourself with it. You know, if you put on some black leather pants and some cute black stilettos, it's given feminine. It's given like a good, sexy, dark feminine.
Giving cutthroat. Bad bitch.
literally,
We
so
love that.
I feel like it's very possible. You just need to everyone that's kind of going through that self battle, they just need to figure out where to start, and it could start off in any small way.
Yes, man.
Someone had commented a question. After we answer this one individual question, I'm going to do an open mic for anyone that feels comfortable enough to get on and kind of share thoughts and ask questions to go for it. You guys could send in requests for the mic. Um, but Jenn had commented, do you guys have advice for being motivated to get dialed up even if you're insecure about your body? I want to dress girly, but I keep just wearing baggy clothes.
Okay. Well, baggy clothes can be so cute too. I think a color palette for one, you can start there, and that'll, cutesy little just accessories too, like, little waist beads or anklets, bracelets, bangles, things that make noise, things that sparkle. That's all.
Yeah.
Everything can be girly and feminine, not just like the way something is shaped with clothing, like the silhouette. You can wear fur coats, like especially I being like a stylist and everything, I work with all different types of body shapes, and one thing that, my curvier girls love that I put them in is like, a skirt, still wear a skirt and like tights and everything, but just throw on like a furry jacket, like a long trench coat with it so that you feel more comfortable and confident, and it's still very, very cute and sexy.
Yeah. I feel like you could still be comfortable and cute, 100%. Um, so for Jen, like if you're trying to figure out how to go about dressing up or feeling more confident within your clothes despite them being baggy, um one, baggy jeans and a pair of heels, staple piece,
Mhm.
staple piece. And if you're not comfortable wearing heels, like there's so many ways that you could go about looking cute in comfortable clothes. I feel like when it comes down to comfy clothing and finding confidence or like trying to figure out how to go about like a cute approach with it, accessorize. Accessories are your best friend.
Yes, absolutely.
Literally your best friend. You could wear like the baggiest tee. Baggy tees are cute if you know how to pair it right. Like you could wear the baggiest clothes, but if you're bags, finding a good purse can eat an entire outfit down. Get a really cute bag. Invest in a nice bag. I feel like as a woman, every woman should at least have one good purse. At
Different
least one.
accessories, headbands, clips, anything.
Yeah. And so far as feeling confident, I feel like that's definitely something that I'll dig deeper into on a different episode. I need to figure out my scheduling and how I'm going to go about each one and like when I'll be having each one. But I'll dig more into depth on that, but what I can say about that is that starts from within. I feel like so far as confidence, yeah, your clothes can help you. But if you don't truly feel confident within yourself, your clothes are not going to speak that. I feel like something like that is a self journey. And it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, especially when it comes to society's views on things, beauty standards, whatever the case may be. You need to learn how to be how to accept who you are. And if you feel, and this goes to anyone as well, whether it's your appearance or your personality or your habits, whatever it is, if you're not content with those, what you're not changing, you're choosing. So sometimes self improvement comes with a lot of big changes. And so far as finding confidence, it's a tricky thing to navigate because it's like, where are you lacking confidence in, and how can I fix this, or how can I express this, because sometimes not everything needs to get fixed. Sometimes you just need to embrace it a little bit more. So I feel like something like that is a self journey. It's a journey of growth, and it's not easy, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth going down that long road. And if anyone ever needs help with something like that, specifically to my girl Jenn that commented, my DMs are always open, because sometimes it can be hard to do alone.
Mhm. I'm just nodding my head in agreement.
And then it's like insecurity with your body. I feel like so many girls, I hope that she doesn't feel like it's just a her thing. You can literally scroll past like the prettiest girl ever. I swear, anyone's favorite celebrity in here, they feel insecure about themselves in some type of way. They probably just don't project it. You know what I mean? So it's like, to feel insecure within yourself and your body, don't feel alone in that, because I think it's really a woman thing. A lot of girls feel that way. And it's a normal thing, but it's also just a mindset thing. So it comes down to changing your mindset and your perception on you, because you got to think to yourself, like, do I deserve to look at myself this way? You know, do I deserve to think these thoughts about myself? You deserve so much more. If anything, speak positive words to yourself, words of affirmation, positivity, and that's how you build yourself up as an individual. So if you ever feel insecure about your body, put on a cute outfit, a comfy outfit, whatever you're comfortable in, and go look in the mirror and speak positive words that can uplift you, to help you change your perception on you, because at that point it's a mental battle. But it's something that you can overcome. It's just not easy.
Yeah, definitely a self-improvement journey. And I've
Mhm.
been down that road as well, and it's so real. We all go through it. It's totally normal.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard. Beauty is pain.
And once again, if your insecurities are rooted through other people and their perceptions of you, don't feed into that shit. Don't feed into that shit. 9 times out of 10, they're self projecting.
Hmm.
They're self projecting, but usually the things that your mind tends to think of you, if it continuously or gradually gets worse, it's probably because you're feeding into it. So then you got to think, like, what am I feeding my mind to continuously feel this way? There's so much that comes to that. And I feel like I'll definitely be having an episode about, you know, like I said, I'll be having episodes about the approach of womanhood, and we'll probably dig into, like, self-love and self-confidence, things like that.
Love it. I can't wait for more.
So I think I'm going to be wrapping this up. If anyone has any questions, you could continue commenting them. Um, if you feel comfortable getting on mic, you can send me a request and you can ask away or talk away before we wrap up.
Yes, I would love to know your thoughts, you guys.
And feedback is always
Questions.
open too.
Yeah,
Feedback is always open.
I do want to ask you, just because I'm curious, but what is your like favorite brand ever?
Oh, that's such a good question. That's so crazy, because I was actually like, I think that this is like part of like my question list, because I have a few questions. But yeah, my favorite clothing brands ever. That's such a, I don't even know where to start. I feel like my sense of fashion fluctuates in so many different areas. Um, I love like high-end runway fashion.
Mhm.
Um, so I have specific high-end fashion like brands that I'm definitely into. I think that I think that like Chanel's vintage pieces 100% showcases like womanhood. It outside of like a sexy way, I feel like we're kind of like seeing that in high-end fashion like in current day. But if we're talking about like vintage, like high end fashion, I feel like Chanel, Vivienne Westwood, and Dior. I think those top three brands right there definitely showcase like femininity and woman as like in a wholeness way.
Yes.
And then obviously I have my girly girl side as well. Um, for those brands, as I started watching, it's so funny because I actually have Taylor, I'm gonna answer your request. Literally give me like a couple like after this little segment here. But I have the old disc of um The Girls Next Door. It's so funny because my nana gifted this to me when I was like 10 years old. And it's of all like the playmates. And so as I started rewatching it as I got older, like it was just like one CD. I think it was like season 3. So it was like I never actually like sat and like watched the entire series at like a young age. That would have been kind of crazy too because I don't think that young kids are like their target audience. But as I got older and rewatched it, I really love the old vintage Playboy looks. I think Holly Madison has a lot of cute outfits and like throughout the entirety of that show. So that kind of brought me into like old vintage Playboy pieces. And
Yes.
then so far as girly girlness, and vintage, like vintageness, I'd say Juicy Couture, completely understand why that made a comeback.
Mhm.
And Baby Fat, love that down to a team. And that kind of ties into like apple bottoms as well.
Yes.
So those are really cute. I kind of love that entire like era. And then for modern brands, I'd say as of recently, I'm into a bit more elegancy.
Mhm.
Um, so for modern brands, I love House of CB. I think that they have really cute dresses,
They
really
do.
cute upscale dresses. I like IMGA for casual outfits for like a cute two-piece set. I think their quality is amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Hidden Call also has like amazing lounge sets. And I'm trying to tap into like other colors. As of recently, outside, because my entire closet is pink and black. I've been trying to tap into a lot more beiges and creams, and I think green also looks really good on me.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to tap into more neutral colors right now. So Hidden Cult has like some really cute sets that like I'm eyeing and potentially about to buy. Miu Miu is a really good brand, you know, Prada's baby sister. I
Yes.
think that that showcases femininity so beautifully, so beautifully. Um, So far as vintage, there's a specific vintage reseller I'm aware of. I think that their handle is Source of Sweet.
Mhm.
You guys need to check that out on Instagram, Source of Sweet.
I love that.
Um, yeah, and so anything vintagey, I love. And then sexy moments, Asian Provocateur, Victoria's Secret to a team.
Literally.
Yeah. Um, Taylor, I'm about to answer your request right now. Hello.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I
I my thing got disconnected. Um, I don't know what I was gonna say. So actually now I know. Um, but I just wanted to say this is such a cute little podcast. The girlies needed this, and I love everything that you guys are talking about. And it's so cute.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate that.
Of course, and I love my Lyssi.
I love
I
you.
love I just feel like there's so many good points that you guys made, and I just love like all these topics that you guys were bringing up, like the girls next door. Love, they're literally like Holly, Bridget, and Kendra are my
Icons.
inspos.
Icons.
Yes. Like I grew up watching not grew up really, but I found Girls Next Door in like 2019 or 2018. I was literally a senior in high school. And I was just like, wait, like something truly awakened in me when I started watching that show.
Because
And
it just showcases girlhood and like
yes,
girliness so good.
Yes.
literally. And so when you started bringing that up, I was like, ah, a light bulb went off. I was like,
I
I
knew
have
it.
to
I knew
talk.
that was gonna resonate with you.
Right? Because I always have it playing like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
But
Funny.
yeah, I just well, first of all, I just love Bridget because she's a Libra like me, and Lyssi, like I love how Lyssi kind of ties in her like astrology into her fashion and to like pretty much
Yes.
everything.
Yes,
Um
everything.
yes, and it's so fun to talk about. Um
I could talk about it
but
for hours. Oh my god.
One thing about
literally,
one thing I love about all three of them is that they're also like cheek, but different. Like their personalities are like
yes.
showcased so well, and you're able to distinctly like tell each individual's like interests and like their dislikes. They're so different but so girly.
That
Yes,
right there.
yes, I'm literally obsessed with them. Like, and Bridget is a Libra, and it's so funny because I really connected with Bridget. And I was like, God, I love everything about her. I love that she loves animals. I love that her room is all pink. I love like her personality. And I literally looked her
Yeah.
up and she was a Libra just like me. And I was like, okay, there has to be something. There has to be something to this. Like there has to be like that's just it's just weird. It's kind of just like meant to be. That's why I really do believe in astrology.
Mhm.
And like I feel like a lot of the cancers that I meet are like kind of like a little bit shy at first and stuff like that. And like
Mhm.
that's kind of like Lisi, like she is like a little shy, but I feel like once you get to know Lisi, she is just so like easy to talk to and just the
Aw.
sweetest, and is just she's just so nice to be around, truly. So
That's
yeah.
literally how I feel about my Libras and Scorpios.
I love it. No, literally, I just love cancers. I think I really have connected with cancers, and I feel like cancers are so, so sweet and down to earth, and
They're very well balanced.
they are. And I just feel like they have like hearts of gold, like literally. And
Aw.
so I just really connect with cancers because I'm honestly very like I'm sensitive and emotional too. And so I don't know, I don't know, I feel like it's give or take with some Libras. Some Libras are like they can be like a little emotional, sometimes not. But I don't know. I feel like I do have like a big soft side to me. And so that's why I feel like I connect with cancers very well.
Absolutely. I feel the same.
I low key encourage like any girl that hasn't watched The Girls Next Door to watch it, especially if you're trying to figure out like your fashion style and taste.
Yes.
Because all three girls, like Kendra, Bridget, and Holly, all three of them express themselves in their outfits, and like you're visibly able to see it. Like for
Yes.
those of you who don't know, like Kendra's like a sporty type of gal. Like she gives more of like tomboy, but she showcases it and her femininity in her clothes in such a good way.
Yes.
So for you girls that are trying to figure out how to navigate, I low key like recommend that show.
Right. And it was such a like it's crazy because it was such an awakening for me because I remember it was like 2017, 2018, and I was like, "Wait a damn minute. This like something literally spoke to me." I don't know what it was. It was like
Something shifted.
no, literally I feel like my like my everything collided. I was like, "Wait a second. This
Love
is
that.
It's like a
everything."
pink light bulb moment.
Right? And
The pink light bulb went off.
also, sometimes I don't know if there's something to this, but like just being, I guess, like blonde or whatever, I love like, oh wow, these girls, like these three girls are like cute blondes. Like it's
Like dumb blonde moment.
right. And when you guys were kind of like talking about some of like your idols and people that you look up to and stuff like that, I feel like some good advice is like sometimes it's really hard to like start on what you like or who inspires you and stuff like that. And honestly, I feel like a lot of just like loving yourself is, it's it's kind of like seeing other, not like influencers, but I was always obsessed with like Pam Anderson and Anna Nicole Smith and
Love her.
Bridget Bardot and just like a lot of Marilyn Monroe for sure. I mean, when Marilyn
It's
Monroe when
giving
I
like
was very
bombshell
young,
girls.
and um I feel like it kind of those like outside influences, you're like, wow, these like women are so beautiful and they carry themselves in this way. And it, I don't know, there's something about it where you're just like, okay, like I feel like, and not in a way like you guys were talking about, like not like copying, not copy and paste, but
Mhm.
it's like getting some inspiration from these women. And just I would watch interviews of like Marilyn and um just Anna
Yes.
Nicole Smith and just all that stuff, and you just kind of like, it's like research.
It's research. Oh my god.
Yes, and you just like, it's kind of just like diving into yourself. Like
Yes.
I feel
Like
like
you get to know yourself and research and
yeah,
reading. There's so
I
many
love.
books, so many podcasts, so many
right,
everything.
Yeah. Oh my God,
absolutely.
wait. Talking about books, I low-key
Books.
have a few book recommendations, like for anyone that is interested. Let me pull that up in my
I
notes.
do too. Oh my god.
Um, so for women that are, bookworms, trying to navigate their femininity,
Mhm.
The Awakening by Kate Chaplin is like recommended by a lot of people. They say Women Who Run with Wolves is also a good book, like a good read for women trying to navigate like femininity in society. The Spirit of Inner Truth in Woman, Fascinating Girl, Vintage Edition. And then I think like a fan favorite is Why Men Love Bitches. I've yet to touch that book, but that's gonna be my next book
Yes,
buy.
I read that whole thing,
Oh,
like
I
Is
love
it
cover to
that.
good?
cover. It's really good, especially for girls. Like for me, I'm such a lover girl. I really, really am, and I feel like I struggle with um kind of like boundaries sort of with like guys at times. I feel like
Boundaries are so important.
right, and they are very, very important. But more so it's just like I'm a lover girl, and like I love like Sleeping Beauty, and like I love like Disney movies, and I always think like I just want my Prince Charming. And sometimes I feel like I can be a little like Delulu in that aspect, where I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, she's so sweet. Like this
If
is
you're thinking
amazing."
it, it's out there.
Yeah.
If you're thinking it, it's because it exists
Yes,
somewhere,
when you
and those
think it's
thoughts are
Absolutely.
sweet,
stem
Yes,
from
yes,
yeah.
something.
yes.
So trust me, you're not delusional. You'll
Yes.
know when it's the right one.
For sure, but
100%.
there have been a lot of guys that like, not a lot of guys, but there have been like a few guys that have like hurt me, you know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I feel like reading that book, it really taught me some good boundaries, because I feel like I struggle with kind of, I really love girls who can be like that bitch. Like I love that, like, yes, like I am that bitch and I'm a princess
Mhm.
and I expect to be treated like this, and like
Mhm.
having these very good boundaries. I literally love that so much. And
Yeah.
so I struggle with that a little bit, where it's like I'm such a people pleaser. It's literally the Libra in me. I'm a double Libra. And so it's hard for me to like be like, yeah, no, but I freaking love when people are like that. Like I love when girls are like that. So it's like I am trying
Hmm.
to like, it's the book is good to adapt that energy.
Like I definitely will be speaking on a lot of those types of topics in another episode, because I did mention, if any of you were in here like when I first like started this space up, that along like the theme of femininity, there will be an episode on relationship dynamics, and obviously boundaries tie into that. But one thing I do want to say about boundaries is that boundaries are just words until you finally start enforcing them. you can say and swear up and down that you have boundaries, but the
Yes.
moment that you're not enforcing it and actually standing on it, like 10 toes down, fuck your boundaries, because they're not boundaries. They're just words, empty thoughts.
Exactly.
So it's so important to actually, hold yourself to the values that you believe that, like that you should be treated in. Boundaries are so important. And if anyone in here does not have like a core list of self boundaries for themselves, get on it. Get on it, because it's a game changer. You'll look at so many people differently. You'll accept certain people into your life and reject a lot of them as well. It's a big moment. It's a light bulb moment. So that's something that I'll definitely be talking about sometime soon. Just don't know when.
And that's on divine femininity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another
Yes.
thing that will be like discussed with that would be like perception, because it would tie into like society and how society would kind of like question a woman's femininity off the way she carries herself, with the manners of like their boundaries. And some people, oh, like it's like giving masculine energy, like she could be a bitch at times, like why can't she just be. So people, it seems like specifically in men, that they kind of expect a girl with like her legs crossed and pinkies up and a fucking quiet mouth, and then the moment that you speak on, certain things, it's like, oh, like why is she like why is she like this, like she's like so manly. Like, no, like
You're
I'm
just a
still very
bitch.
feminine, very feminine. I just come with a solid list of things that I accept and do not accept. You could still be a bitch and stand on things as a woman and still be the sweetest, softest woman ever.
Literally. Also, I have a question for everybody in here. Not me being bold. I'm sorry. But this is but this is
We love
something
it.
I'm genuinely curious about. Um so with like the like not like the pink aesthetic LOL, but since we kind of all have this like cute pink aesthetic where we dress up and like Lyssi was talking about like the sex appeal and stuff like that. I feel like it kind of ties in like do when finding not like finding love, but when like talking to guys, do do you guys feel like you're more like fetishized a bit? Like
Like attracting lust
yes.
rather than love.
Yes.
At times, I feel like because people associate the color pink with like flirtatiousness, and
Mhm.
like I don't really know how to explain it. After
Yeah.
all, I'm not a man. Like, I think that we can't really speak on a man's perceptions, but based off of what we're given and treated and what we see, I feel like it definitely does attract a lot of lust.
Yeah, that's
At moments,
yeah.
it can even attract creeps.
It does
If we're gonna
attract
get
It
creeps.
real,
really
a lot
does.
of
It
creeps.
really does, and it's so disheartening because it's like I'm this way where I'm like I love to dress sexy and kind of be like a blonde bombshell. Like I really live for that. Like that's my aesthetic, but I'm not trying to like hook up with guys or like have sex with
Yeah.
guys, and that's not what I'm
Mhm.
doing. Like I'm doing this for myself. I'm not doing it to attract attention from guys. I'm doing it like I'm posting what I post. I'm dressing how I dress because this is how I feel my most authentic self. This is how I feel like Taylor, and it's sad because I feel like a lot of these guys get the wrong idea and they're just like, "Oh, well, I had a guy literally ask me, "Why do you dress sexy or why do you post, these sexy pictures of yourself if you're not trying to be
Not what you
sexual?"
want.
And
Yeah.
I was literally shocked because I was like,
They don't get
no,
it.
they
We
That's
do it for
don't,
the
and I was
girls.
just so offended, and it's really sad because it really like I started going through my whole Instagram and just like questioning myself and
oh
stuff
my
like that,
god.
and I was like, wow, like am I posting too like risky things? Like and I was like, no, I'm not at all. Like I'm
Literally.
literally just posting like what I feel confident in, and like yeah, maybe like I have like bigger boobs or whatever, but I was born with them. Like I'm literally
Hey,
I'm trying to be confident in my body and like be like, yes, like I'm serving, like this is who I am and I love it. Like and just for that negative like energy to just drag you down. Yes, me and him do not talk anymore. I stopped responding to him. Very bad. But like
good.
yes. But that's why I'm just like chronically single literally because I just feel like so many of these guys do not understand us.
They don't. They don't get it.
Yeah. But
I resonate
Taylor,
so bad with that.
I love that you mentioned that because then once again it ties into your comment about boundaries and that book that you read, like why men love bitches. And I feel like
Yeah,
the reason why you're probably able to see it so much more clear now is because of those boundaries that you hold yourself to. And usually when that
absolutely.
happens, it's it's like a light bulb click, and it's like you're able to instantly tell when a man is projecting nothing but lustful intents onto you versus, and even
Right.
when they try to play it off like the good guy for a week or two or maybe like a
Yeah.
month, and then you could tell that they're hiding the intents that they truly have for you because boundaries kind of like open that dark curtain, and it's a means of
It
self-protection.
for sure.
Mhm.
And you're so right. And the thing is that is amazing about this book, it really does show boundaries and it kind of like shows strength,
Mm,
like it explains strength and um just being loving yourself first and not letting a guy that you barely know be your whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I also love, you know, like a lot of these girls that are in this little podcast, like in this space. I literally love how these girls invest into themselves so much down to their nails, their skincare, their teeth, like literally any like accessories, just building themselves up, like just investing into yourself and who you are. I just love it.
mm.
Like I love that so much. It's so inspiring.
No, I definitely agree with you 100%. Taylor, you could stay on the mic, by the way. I'm not going to take you off. I'm just going to add someone else that's been sitting in the request for
Oh
a
yeah,
minute.
go ahead. That's all I really wanted to say. Thank you for having me
Of
on.
course. And I loved everything you've mentioned, like everything.
I literally love this and I hope this is a thing every week
Yeah.
because I'm
I
obsessed.
plan on
But
it.
anyways, thank you so much ladies. This is an amazing
Thank
space.
Thanks.
you.
I love to hear everything you said.
Love you,
Love you too.
Lyssi.
So I gave someone else mic.
I'm here.
I think
Sorry, just give me 1 second.
okay, take your time. And if anyone else has any questions, you could go ahead and continue commenting under the space comments. Thank you, Bajig. I've been reading a lot of them, and I want to say thank you to all the positivity that's going on. It's so sweet.
Literally,
Um,
I'm reading them all right now.
yeah, it's just like I love it. It's just like it's screaming girlhood. It's screaming girliness, girlhood, sisterhood. I love it. And everyone's being so positive and uplifting, and that's what I want this to be, like a positive, uplifting thing. And I hope to do this weekly. I'm working on a schedule. I'm trying to get everything like together right now, but it will probably be a weekly thing, and then more so continue on to be like a twice a week thing. I'm just trying to figure out what days like work best, especially for people and having them come on as special guests and stuff. So,
I do want to give one more book recommendation because I love this book and honestly helped me with my fashion, even though it's not about fashion. The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. I love this
Okay.
book so much because it is all about femininity, and even though it's written by a man, I feel, and it's outdated for sure, I still love that book so so much, and I recommend all girls to read that. It'll really help you with your fashion sense and how you carry yourself as well if you're confused about it.
I like that. I'll probably add that to my
Now,
list of
I'm
books.
sorry, guys.
Yes.
It's okay.
So basically, if I had a question, and then I just had like a tip. So for any guys, for any girls who like thrifting, one of my most favorite tips I always tell everybody when you want thrifting or even like design or you just want to get into it is your first thrift store is usually a friend, family member's closet. I get so much like random designer from like my grandma or my mom, or even just like the cutest clothes from my friends. My favorite part of girlhood is literally just being able to like, hey, can I borrow this? Can I wear this? Or like giving my friend a jacket. I'm like, you should wear this. It goes great with your outfit. Like everything you do when it comes to your clothes and any big changes, you should always just start little by little and just like where you can, like it's always just been one of like my favorite things. Like just go in your mom's closet. I just got this gorgeous like cherry red purse from my grandma because she didn't even want it. And it's like it's so on trend, it's so pretty. And I probably wouldn't have been able to find it in a thrift store anyway. But yeah, just always like start small and designer always check an outlet. So much coach and things I get from like outlets and they're super cheap because nobody
I
really
agree so, so, so much because my mom is literally my number one style icon besides everyone else I said. Like, she was 20 in the 2000s, so that she is just like everything to me.
I
And
love my mom. Like, she has this one burgundy shirt. It's like, oh my God, I wear it forever. It's like 30 years old. It's this bad chick on the front. And she was like, you look just like me when I wore this like 20 years ago.
yes, and I will keep everything for my future daughter as well because that dynamic is just unmatched.
I love this talk because this kind of like brings me back to like core moments of childhood, like when you're little and like rating your mom's like heels,
Yeah.
and it's like you don't even fit like a third of the heel and you're just like running around. And it's like being like exposed to that like femininity, girlhood, and having like a role model like that, like I don't know, it does something, like it does something, and it stays as a core moment. I remember having like nights with like my cousins, and we just like go and like play in like our parents closets and like try on, have like our own fashion runway,
And
trying on different heels and stuff. I feel like that's like a moment that most girls kind of like go through.
1000%.
Yes,
Me
it's
too.
truly so great. And I
Bring it back to
also
childhood.
love childhood. Like, I do everything for that inner child.
So,
Also, and for my girlies who struggle with confidence, like, as always, like I said before, start small. I have vitiligo. I got it randomly. I literally woke up one day and my arms were two different colors. I was like nine. It's literally the most jarring thing ever to experience as a child. For the longest time, I literally I wore so many jackets. Like you would never see me without a jacket, but it wasn't super visible on my legs. So I wore a lot of skirts because even when I was younger, before it appeared, I wore a lot of skirts. And so at any point in time, if you're just uncomfortable, whichever part of your body that you're the most comfortable with, whether it's like you want to show skin, you don't want to show skin, you want to show your figure, pick a top, a bottom, even a shoe, because that confidence, it took a lot for me to grow into. And even some days now, I still wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I only want to wear my jacket. I don't want anybody to see me. And then I'm like, absolutely not. Like, go put on your outfit, go put on your strapless, whatever, go put this on because confidence, like sometimes you really have to, because some days I do have to force it to be in me and not on me because
Yeah.
I can put on like my best outfit. But yes, with everything you do, everything you want to transform into, just pick one place. I started with me. I started with long sleeve jackets, cardigans, skirts, shirts. I started
mhm.
all of that. But I love the skirt. Skirt hates to see me coming. So you can always, oh, skirt hates to see me coming. So you can always just start small, and it's always just really like the best thing once you realize how far you come. Cause I look back when I'm just wearing my jackets and I look at me now and I'm like, wow, the jacket is the accessory now. It's what it's for. It's not even anymore like my armor. No one should see it. No one should see me because you also have to remember that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you ever. And I
It's like we
remember
self-analyze so much. So much.
I don't know why I cannot hear.
Yeah, I don't know why it's breaking out like that.
Mhm.
they might be my AirPods. I don't know what's wrong with them.
It's okay.
There you go.
But yeah, that was all I had to say. I really enjoyed this conversation, and it was just
Mhm.
really fun.
I'll be doing more of these. I'll definitely be hosting more. Um, this is
Yes, thank
just
you
the
for having
first of
me.
many.
Oh, one more thing, you guys. For girly girl fashion, always look. This is what I do. Okay, take inspiration from me with this because I feel like it is really good advice. Look at Bratz dolls, look at Barbie dolls, and try to put that into your outfit. Okay, that's where I get my main inspiration from. I find myself looking at Bratz dolls and Barbie dolls all the time for cute outfits, and I saw this tweet that was. I wish I could put it on the. Yeah.
Like pin it.
It yeah, I should find it, but it was like I compare myself to dolls and not people, and I love that. I live by that actually.
I love
So
that. I love that a lot.
I
Um,
do it so often, and like it, yeah.
like the Bratz rock angels closet team. Love it. And I feel like that's like a good like example of like dark femininity.
Yes, I
I
love
love
upper
Bratz Rock Angels.
line.
I did a Halloween costume inspired by
Uh-huh.
them. They're so
Really?
yes. It was oh my god, this was like peak like COVID. It was like 2021. It was so great though, honestly. But I loved it so much. I should do it
I
again
do that
actually.
so much, literally. It's my favorite thing, especially like the Barbie Fashionista line is probably my favorite for like, events and like finding cute dresses. I'm always looking for inspiration based off of like what type of dresses they're wearing and just turn into literally a doll.
I'm crying. Someone said, "Oh my God, I'm late." It's okay, girl. You're not missing out. Like I'll be doing these more. 100%.
Oh, and also when you mentioned you're going to school for fashion merchandising, so am I. That's so exciting.
Oh my gosh, yay, sister.
I love that. I'm currently in school. I'll be graduating like this spring coming up, but
Yes,
I'm
love
going for my
that.
marketing degree in hopes of like applying it in cosmetic or like fashion, like corporate marketing. So, fingers crossed that works in my favor.
Let's go.
Love that for you so much.
Okay, besties, this is the last time I'm asking if there's any more questions or anyone that wants an opportunity to speak on anything, to send requests or post any comments. If not, I'm going to try to wrap this up. I love how this was supposed to be like a 20-minute thing, but like we're all enjoying it
I
so much.
know.
It's been ongoing for hours.
I know. Oh my gosh, Naya, yes. Main source of inspiration, I swear.
I'm going to give you guys like, I don't know, like 2-3 minutes just in case anyone is typing anything before I wrap up.
Well, I love this so much, Ari. This was so sweet of you to have me on. I'm very honored.
Thank you. Thank you for
But
being open to joining, especially for like the first run too.
yes, I was looking forward to this literally ever since he said.
Someone asked if we have a Discord. I have Discord. I just don't really use it. So
I
like
do not.
I don't really use it. Like I don't even think I have like the app downloaded anymore. But I do know that like I have an account like somewhere. And I just need to figure that out. Someone asked Someone asked you, since you're a stylist, how would you style someone who's insecure about their hips and legs?
I love that question. Okay. So for I love dresses that are fit and flare for the hips. Like, oh my gosh, Lucy in the Sky, that brand for they have the best dresses in this like A-line style, but look for if you're looking like for dresses and skirts, look for things that have tiers. And I really love, I don't know if you mean like legs in like a long leg way or a short leg way, but I really think for like long legs, I know I have long legs and it took me a while to like get comfortable with them. So, leg warmers, long boots, boots that shoes that are like well, boots that are a statement, like bigger, a heel that are tall. That's what I do. Um, and yeah, definitely for dresses, get you a fit and flare A-line dress, and it'll make you feel amazing.
I feel like long legs are like sexy though. Like it gives
I
runway
love them.
model, like
Yes.
high end runway model.
It took me a while to love them, but now I want to emphasize them all the time. And like, especially when like you put on like good lotion and you have your legs out, like,
And some body oil.
yes,
Yeah.
they're a statement. They're part of the outfit. Very dolly.
I love that.
I love that question.
Okay, besties. Well, I don't see any other questions rolling in, and I don't see any requests. So I'm going to wrap this up. Um, I'll be tweeting more about, potential days that I'll be doing this. When I have everything like set together and like written in stone, I'll probably pin like a tweet on my account, letting you guys know like when I'll be doing this like weekly, and then I'll like send out a tweet of like what the topic would be and who the guest speaker would be at the time. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think that like a space like this definitely like unites girlhood. It's like sisterhood, womanhood, all in one, and
Mhm.
it's open to anyone, everyone. So I'm really looking forward to this with you guys.
Yay. Yay, I love this so much.
Oh my goodness. Literally, a last second question came in. Someone was like, a off topic question, but can you still embrace your feminine self and still have masculine qualities such as being goofy and like sports? This literally goes back
100%.
to just watch The Girls Next Door.
Yeah.
like I mentioned, Kendra is one of the three main like playmates, and she's like more so tomboyish, very into sports, any sport you could think of, basketball, football, you name it. But she also, you know, speaks well, embraces her femininity within her clothes despite her character as like being tomboyish and having interests that most other people would perceive as masculine. So I encourage, even you don't watching a whole show could be too much for some people, but you could definitely just like look up like inspo off of that. But it's very much possible, very much possible.
Very much. And being feminine is not just about being 100% feminine in all aspects. Like, you're
Right.
still you at the end of the day. You can still love everything you love and make it girly. Like, yeah, that I don't see it as just black and white with those types of things. Like, masculinity and femininity is not just for men and women. We all have elements of both. So just
Yeah,
embrace it, you know, do it in your way. You can make anything sexy.
100%.
Yay!
Okay, besties. Well, I hope everyone in here has a good night. And if anyone else has any questions, word of advice, anything like that, my DMs are more than open and welcoming. So, yeah.
Yes. Okay, and I'm gonna plug real quick, you guys. I have my own podcast coming as well, so this was perfect start for me. Thank you
Yeah.
again. Fashionista Diaries is coming soon next month, you guys. I hope to see everyone there, and Ari included.
I'll definitely be
I want
tuning
you on mine
in.
too. I'm gonna have guest speakers, and you're definitely on the list, girl.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to that. When you texted me that, I was like, oh shit.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
exciting.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Love you.
Love you too. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.